Okay, so can anyone tell me what is the last point we were discussing? Do you remember what is the subject or what kind of discussion we all are here? What was the last point we have discussed?
Sir, I think one company.
One company for what? One company of what? See, I think you all must be aware that this particular recording is going to be shared with all the students, right? So the way you all are participating or the way you are taking it seriously, I don't think so. This is going to help you to learn the subject. So when you talk about application of marketing research in your profile, or when you talk about application of your business research method knowledge in your marketing domain, I don't think so. This casual attitude will help you a lot because you all are thinking. Nobody remembers what is the last point we have discussed. Then tell me one thing: why and what should, why and what kind of effort should I put into communicating you all about the subject? आपको कुछ लेना देना ही नहीं पीछे क्या हुआ है, किसी को याद नहीं है हम क्या डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, क्यों डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, एंड एक्सेप्ट 2-3 पीपल, अभी हो ही यहाँ पे 8-9, तो मैं 2 दिन की क्या बात करूँ. Except 2-3 people, I can see the frequency of attending the lectures. पिछले लेक्चर में आप खुद ही होते नहीं हो तो आपको क्या पता क्या हुआ होगा लास्ट लेक्चर में. आप थे ही नहीं तो हाउ यू कैन टेल मी अबाउट दैट. आई अंडरस्टैंड योर सिचुएशन ऑल्सो, बट and I think you all should be aware that the effect and impact of this session is totally dependent on how much you are participative, how much you are interested to learn, right? जबरदस्ती कोई आपके दिमाग में कोई चीज उतार नहीं सकता है. We only can take you to the water. It's your choice whether you want to drink it or no. We cannot force you to drink, right? So we were talking about sample size calculations and sampling designs, sampling methods, sampling techniques. I have discussed with you all about the sample size calculation formula also, right? This time, and we have also discussed about the differentiation between quantitative and qualitative approaches for research, right? So most of the times, generally we use quantitative approach for decision making, and using quantitative approach gives more validity and gives more statistical significance to the outcomes of your research. So using quantitative approach is always a good thing in terms of conducting any research for solving your marketing related problems or making any kind of decision related to marketing department in your company. So we have discussed about sample plan, sample size, sampling methodology, and sampling techniques also we have talked about. Probability sampling, non-probability sampling, you have already learned that, I assume, and then I'll go ahead. Next point as per your syllabus. Next point as per your syllabus talks about the estimates of cost estimates of research proposal, right? So you should understand why we are discussing this sampling and sampling techniques and sampling methods here, because remember, in research proposal, एक्चुअली सिलेबस में ये सब चीजें इसलिए दिया है कि आपको पता होना चाहिए कि रिसर्च प्रपोजल में क्या क्या लिखना है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं आपको अभी पूरा के पूरा यहाँ पे रिपीट पढ़वा दूं कि व्हाट इज क्वांटिटेटिव अप्रोच, व्हाट इज क्वालिटेटिव अप्रोच. So that is what is not expected in the syllabus. In your second chapter, we are talking about research proposal. So when we talk about research proposal, I have told you what are the 6 major components of research proposal in my previous session, right? And this research proposal structure also I have shared with you. So and you all have received the summer internship uh, format, summer internship project format. That summer internship project format itself contains a lot of portion of your research proposal. So what should be the format of research proposal? If you want to understand this, go through the format given for your summer internship project, right? That is something called as the format of your research study, and that can be a part of your research proposal. So your research proposal should always talk about your research problem, your research questions, your research objectives, research design you are going to use to solve those research questions and study objectives. It should also have the research hypothesis, and you should also consider the uh, tools and techniques that you are going to use to test those hypotheses, right? If you are talking about hypothesis testing, then always remember this must be the descriptive research under quantitative research design. And when you talk about descriptive research and the quantitative research design, you should use statistical methods, mathematical tools, various applications for hypothesis testing purpose. So this all things should be there in the proposal format. Your proposal should clearly talk about what kind of research design you are going to conduct. See, who is going to proposal to whom, as we have discussed? Research agency. Research agency or individual researcher is giving proposal to द क्लाइंट बेस्ड ऑन हिज डिमांड. सो आप क्लाइंट को प्रपोज कर रहे हो कि आपका जो प्रॉब्लम है वो सॉल्व करने के लिए हम कौन सा रिसर्च करने वाले हैं. दैट ऑल डिटेल्स शुड बी इन योर रिसर्च प्रपोजल. तो क्लाइंट शुड बी गिवन idea about everything starting from how you are defining problem, how you are setting up objectives, which questions you are going to answer, what kind of information you are going to find out for decision making for your client, right? So that all depends on the researcher's mind state, that how you are planning that particular research study for your client, right? And what kind of problems can clients can tell you, right? Clients can be तो तो ये क्या है इधर आओ गाइस. हेलो.
Yes, sir.
आपका ही सेशन, एक मिनट, मेरा सेशन आपके क्लास पे ही है ना अभी? हाँ, तो कंबाइन सेशन है शायद फॉर ऑल द डिविजन्स, राइट?
Yes, sir, for M1, M2, and M3.
M1.
Okay, so some few of the students are saying that session is not yet started. Let it be. I think we have started well on time. 5 minutes delay, right? I have asked. I have
Yes, sir, we
joined
are on time.
and I have asked 5 minutes for that, right?
Yes, sir, we are on time.
Hold on. Deep sir is here to say hello to you all, and खाली बिली डिस्टर्ब करूंगा. अच्छा फ्लो में चल रहा है.
Sir, I think they are using the old link.
ठीक है, फाइन, जाने दो, नो वरी.
This class is
So-
started from M1.
So we were talking about
Link use किया है.
हाँ, जो मेंटर ग्रुप में दिया लिंक आपने वो वाला. तो क्या बात कर रहे थे हम लोग? वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट रिसर्च प्रपोजल फॉर्मेट, राइट? सो फॉर्मेट में क्या क्या आता है? प्रॉब्लम, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, हाइपोथेसिस, मेथोडोलॉजी, टूल्स एंड टेक्निक्स, प्रपोज्ड आउटकम्स, and see, two more important things of your research proposal format you need to understand is timelines, right? Timelines and budget, right? So if I ask you about the budget, then can you tell me what kind of budget might be required for your research? क्या क्या आएगा बजट में? आपको क्या लगता है बजट में क्या क्या आ सकता है? एंड हाउ यू कैन कोट द बजट? क्योंकि as you are going to play a role of research individual researcher or research agency, you should tell your client कि इसमें पैसा कितने लगने वाला है, फ्री में तो करने वाले नहीं हो ना. So your research proposal should contain the deadlines of your work and the budget of your research study, budget of completion of every phase of your research study. So these two major components are very much important when you talk about budgeting of your research study. I don't know why I am not able to share the screen. Yes, I am now. So look at this particular syllabus of second unit. I'm discussing on these points. So what is this? Cost estimation, timeline, and appendices. So what should be there in your research? हम लोग यहाँ से discuss कर रहे थे. We were talking about research design. उसके पहले opportunities, objectives, research proposal, basics of the objectives, hypothesis, sample design, sample plan, all those things you need to describe along with your cost estimates and timelines. So when you talk about timelines would be like in proposal itself you have discussed about the formation and drafting of research proposal and research question and research objective. So how much time you are going to take to complete that first phase in which you are going to talk about the proposed research study, proposed research design to be adopted, which are, see, defining objectives, hypothesis, it's not a task of 1 or 2 days, right? It takes too much time to decide the exact and suitable and relevant objectives of your study. ऐसा नहीं कि आज उठ के आपने टाइटल बनाया 2 मिनट में आपने ऑब्जेक्टिव डिसाइड किया, क्लाइंट ने आपको उसका रिक्वायरमेंट दिया. फॉर एग्जांपल मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रिसर्च स्टडीज क्लाइंट कैन आस्क, राइट? Client can ask you whether they should start like a chain, whether they should start a restaurant in particular location or no. They could start, see, let's suppose any kind of chain restaurant company wants to expand their business in various localities, wants to expand their business in various geographical areas, and they are confused whether they should open the restaurant or open any outlet in the particular geography or in the particular location. They don't know, right? Expand to karna hai. I want to open, let's suppose McDonald's wants to open a new restaurant in the specific area of Pune city. They are not aware कि इस एरिया में चलेगा कि नहीं चलेगा. ऐसे तो डिसीजन होते नहीं कि उठ के उनको याद आया बनाना है तो दिखा शटर खाली और उन्होंने ओपन कर दिया रेस्टोरेंट लोकेशन. ऐसा तो होता नहीं है ना, राइट? और ऐसा अगर होता है तो देर आर वेरी ह्यूज चांसेस दैट योर डिसीजन वुड बी नॉट appropriate, because that's not a calculated decision, that's not a scientific decision making, as we have studied already about the concept of scientific decision making. किसी को लगता है यहाँ से बहुत लोग आते जाते रहते हैं इसलिए वहाँ पे एक मैकडोनल्ड्स खोल दो या डोमिनोज का आउटलेट खोल दो तो चल जाएगा, ऐसा है क्या? there is very huge population traveling on highway sides. Does it mean that at any location people stop? At any location you can open the restaurant chains and restaurant location outlets, and your hotel and restaurants would be functioning or making a profitable business. ऐसा तो नहीं होता है ना. ये सब सोच समझ के डिसीजन लेने वाली प्रोसेस होती है. So let's suppose McDonald's wants to open, or Domino's wants to open their new outlets in various geographies in Maharashtra, right? Now they gives this particular question, they gives this particular dilemma to a research company or research client or research individual or research agency. तो क्या है रिसर्च एजेंसी? क्या एक दिन में 2 दिन में उनको बताएगा क्या कि करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए, कहाँ पे करना चाहिए? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दे नीड टू frame a problem, they need to frame the objectives of research study, they need to understand the issues and problems in various different geographies according to the प्रेफरेंस ऑफ कंपनी प्रेफरेंस देगा हमको पुणे में इतने आउटलेट ओपन करने, मुंबई में इतना आउटलेट ओपन करना है, तो कैसे करे, क्या करे? ये सब रिसर्च का रिक्वायरमेंट है, वो कंपनी देगा रिसर्च एजेंसी को. तो 1 या 2 दिन में तो ऐसा नहीं कि ऑब्जेक्टिव सेट करके बता दिया कि हम लोग ये स्टडी करेंगे इतना हो जाएगा. सो यू एज अ रिसर्च individual or you as a research agency or researcher, you have to understand what are the specific issues, what are the specific objectives, what are the specific hypothesis of the research you need to set down. And to do this you will require certain time, because आप भी खुद होके कर नहीं सकते. You are a researcher, right? You are not a god that you know everything. Even though if you are going to study those research questions, you need to understand what is the literature, what is the existing scenario, where is the information available about this particular process. रेस्टोरेंट लोकेशन सिलेक्ट करने के लिए आज तक लोगों ने कौन से प्रोसीजर अडॉप्ट किए हैं वो दुनिया में, ये सब आपको देखना पड़ेगा. उसी में से कोई एक प्रोसीजर आप सजेस्ट कर सकते हो कि मैं इस प्रोसीजर के हिसाब से आपको ढूंढ के दूंगा कि वेदर वी शुड स्टार्ट आवर रेस्टोरेंट इन दैट पर्टिकुलर लोकेशन और नो, वेदर वी शुड स्टार्ट आवर आउटलेट इन दैट लोकेशन और नो. सो देखना पड़ेगा आज तक लोगों ने जितने रिसर्च किए वो कौन से टूल यूज करके किया है, कैसे किया है, व्हाट आर द मेथडोलॉजीज they have adopted to suggest the appropriate location to the restaurant chain. And ये सब करने के लिए you need a time, you need to study it, you need to come to the conclusion by reading existing scenario of that particular decision making process. दुनिया में इस तरह के और decisions कैसे होते हैं आज तक, वो सब आपको ढूंढना पड़ेगा. So that it takes time. So you need to specify the timelines of deciding the objectives, you need to specify the timeline required for data collection, right? Objective specify kiya, then you need to decide about the instrument, right? You need to decide about the instrument of data collection, which instrument you are going to use. Either you are going to take the expert interviews, or you are going to take the survey, or you are going to take the customer's opinion. What methodology, what instrument you are going to use. So decision of selection of particular instrument also takes time in research, right? Decision of selection of particular instrument also takes time. Then designing and developing the instrument, validating the instrument for its normality, validity and reliability, right? All of these concepts I have discussed with you already. What is normality, what is validity, and what is reliability of the instrument. So deciding the number of questions or deciding on the type of questions that you are going to add. If you are going to conduct survey, if you are going to conduct the survey, then only you will talk about the instrument. Nahi to you will instrument in the form of questionnaire, nahi to any other instrument you can use for that data collection. So it also takes time कि कौन सा instrument करना है, कैसे design करना है, कहाँ पे survey कराना है. It also takes too much time for researchers to decide. So that those timelines, again, how much time you will take for data collection, then deciding on sampling size. Either you are going to use probability, non-probability. If you are using non-probability, then which, convenient, systematic, snowball, what kind of sampling you are going to use, that you have to mention. And that time frame also has to be mentioned. Sampling के लिए कितना time लगेगा, sample survey collect करने के लिए कितना time लगने वाला है, and how much time you need for data analysis करके interpret करना है. So you all are required to mention all those details, with respect to the timelines in your research format, research proposal. प्रपोजल बनाने के टाइम पे ही आपको ये सब एक टेबल फॉर्मेट में देना चाहिए, टाइमलाइंस कैसे होती है, राइट? सो this particular is related to about this particular information is related about the use of time utilization in your research study. Understood? Where you need to use the time and what are the things you need to consider in mentioning the proper timelines of your research study. It has to be mentioned in proper format when you talk about the research proposal. समझ में आ रहा है कुछ क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं? टाइमलाइन का इम्पोर्टेंस कितना है? How much important it is to mention the timelines. This gives you the framework. This gives you the deadlines of completing each and every task. This becomes, defining the timelines becomes the measure of performance. Defining the timelines becomes the measure of performance of researcher or research agency, on which client can validate you, on which client can observe the progress. Client can understand the development happening in his work, in his requirement, right? So timelines are very much important in order to achieve your outcome in stipulated time frame, in order to give the sense of completion of the work to the clients also. नहीं तो क्लाइंट ने आपको काम दिया, आपने पता ही नहीं, 6 महीने का पूरा ऑल इन ऑल आपने बोला कि 6 महीने में मैं ये रिसर्च पूरा करके दूंगा, एंड meanwhile 6 months client did not approach you, you have not defined any proper frame, and client also have not given importance to the timeline and decisions. After 6 months client came to you and you were still drafting about the questionnaire and the methodologies and statistical tools to be selected. तो ऐसा ना हो, इसलिए आपको टाइमलाइन एस्टिमेट प्रॉपर करके देना चाहिए रिसर्च प्रपोजल में, राइट? सो व्हेन यू, यस नितिन.
Sir, I have a question, sir. Is there any difference between market researcher and market analyst? Or is it both are same?
Can you come again, Nitin?
Sir, is there any difference between market researcher and market analyst, or both are same? Matlab, I think the work of both are same and the name are different. Is it so?
No,
Or anything?
actually, this both the concept, market analyst and market research, it is one and the same thing you can consider, because in analyst also, see, what do you do? You find the new and additional information. In market research also, what do? You find the information to solve your daily problems, right? There is just a difference. There is just a difference between application, right? The difference between the frequency of using the research methods for solving your problem. Market analyst में क्या होता है? You take a very small concept and you create a report on this particular concept within very small time, short time. And when you talk about market analysis, you can do market analysis without having any problem. You can do market analysis for excavating of some additional insight for your business. So market analytics का जो job है, that is a job of marketing intelligence. हमने एक concept पढ़ी थी, what is difference between marketing intelligence and what is difference between marketing research. So when you talk about marketing analytics, it's a part of intelligence. It's a part of your market information, marketing information system, right? मार्केटिंग इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम याद आ रहा है? उसमें हमने दो चीजें
Yes, sir.
एक एनालिटिक्स था, एक रिपोर्ट था, रिसर्च रिपोर्ट था. सो एनालिटिक्स इज अ प्रोएक्टिव एफर्ट ऑफ इंडिविजुअल इन द रिसर्च फील्ड. ये आपका खुद का प्रोएक्टिव एफर्ट है. इट डज नॉट नीड एनी प्रॉब्लम टू बी ऑकर एंड देन यू डू एनालिसिस. बट इन रिसर्च व्हाट हैपेंस? रिसर्च you do only if the problems occur.
Okay.
Right? So काम दोनों का एक ही है, एप्लीकेशन डिफरेंट है, एंड यूज scope of using it is different. Research generally comes when you face any difficulty in the problem, in the business. And analytics you generally use in terms of finding the information before anything happens in your business as an insight for decision making. So analytics gives insights, research gives information oriented solutions.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so when you talk about the timelines, clear to you all how timelines should be mentioned and what should be considered while talking about the timelines of research? इतना समझ में आया? 2 words? Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the next point is about cost estimations, right? What kind of cost estimations you will put into research? You will put into your research proposal. What do you think that what are the costs involved in the research? क्या लगता है आपको? कौन से cost हो सकते हैं?
So sample collection cost.
Data collection cost, right? Data collection cost. Okay. See, as we were talking about the example of Prakash not audible properly, you can come again. Okay, so when we talk about the cost involved in the research is one is about data collection. What else? आपने डेटा कलेक्ट कर लिया, आगे क्या लगेगा आपको? डेटा कलेक्ट करने से पहले कोई कुछ लगेगा? What do you think?
So sometimes we might also require funding for secondary purpose as well. I mean, traveling and all, maybe going to a library, meeting someone who have done the research previously, taking advice or inputs from that person.
Okay, so again, something related to the secondary data collection in the form of library charge, subscriptions, right? Subscriptions of various online databases. It is not required that all the online information is available for free of the cost, right? Many times, if you search on Google and find out intellectual research papers for something, राइट अगर आप एफर्ट लेते हो कभी रिसर्च पेपर सर्च करते हो रिलेटेड टू समथिंग फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर डूइंग समर इंटर्नशिप एंड यू आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू सर्च फॉर एग्जिस्टिंग लिटरेचर आपने एग्जिस्टिंग लिटरेचर सर्च करने के टाइम पे अगर आपने देखा किया है नहीं किया है करते हो नहीं करते हो वो आप खुद ही सोचो एक बार करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए उसके हिसाब से काम करना सीखो आपका लिटरेचर रिव्यू कैसे बनता है समर इंटर्नशिप में राइट some you have to excavate the information which is already available about your topic in terms of literature review and for that you need to search what kind of research has been happened till now in India till now in the world for that particular concept. Let's suppose आप समर इंटर्नशिप में मार्केटिंग कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर का टॉपिक पढ़ रहे हैं तो कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर रिलेटेड टू लेट्स सपोज इंश्योरेंस most of you are selling credit cards and insurance right so consumer behavior towards credit card अगर आपका समर इंटर्नशिप का टॉपिक ऐसा है तो आपको यू हैव टू सर्च द इंफॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड टू दिस पर्टिकुलर आज तक किसने कितना रिसर्च किया है फॉर दैट यू हैव टू गो टू द गूगल एंड यू विल देन search and download the various research articles publications theses books and various blogs and literature for that matter. Sometimes you will observe that some of the papers are not available for the free. They are asking you few charges for downloading that particular research article. They are asking you to subscribe their journal. They are asking you to subscribe their databases. So when you talk about the research proposal, you have to mention what kind of costs can be there in your research, what kind of expenses you need to take care during the research study, and that has to be mentioned properly in a tabulated format, right? So in tabulated format in Excel, you can create the list of particulars, rate, unit, and total, and then it's a kind of billing format for the client to understand what all are the expenses expected during the research study and what would be the budget of this research study. Is it possible that you are just telling your client that, sir, I will take 10 lakhs rupees to complete this particular research study, and your client will say that, yes, go ahead. The client will ask you, where are you going to utilize this 10 lakhs rupees? What are those requisites in which you are going to spend this amount? So you have to talk about the manpower, salaries, as Satya was saying that there is a expense of collecting a data, conducting a survey, and that expense can be like you need to hire based on the type of survey. You may need to hire a very huge number of people to get exact survey done. For example, we were talking about the restaurant chains problem to open their outlets in various geographies, various locations. What you need to do in that case? You need to identify the preference, you need to observe the habits of people in that area, you need to identify the movement of people from that particular location. कितने लोग आते हैं, कहाँ जाते हैं, कहाँ से आते हैं. You all need to understand those things. You may need to conduct different kind of 2-3 studies together. You may go for observational data collections, you may go for the expert opinion, you may go for the survey, you may also study those locations based on the demographics of those locations. For example, how much population is there, what are their classes in terms of income, education, residential style and all. And this all will take a huge effort, right? ऐसा नहीं है कि 50-60 लोगों को 100 लोगों को जैसे हम SIP में करते 100 लोगों को उस एरिया में जाके सर्वे किया रास्ते से आते जाते. You may not get the exact 100 people, those who are who are the proposed customer of your restaurant. तो आप उनसे बात करके तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं है, वहाँ खोलना चाहिए नहीं खोलना चाहिए. So you have to identify the class of respondent. You have to identify where this class can be located. How can you reach to that class? How to take survey? How do you observe the class? Taking survey cannot only solve your problem, right? You have to observe what kind of food habits they have, what kind of consumption patterns they have for this particular food, how much they are preferring the kind of food you are offering through your restaurant. So you have to understand so many factors which talks about the need of customers in that geographical location, and then only you can suggest that company whether the company should open this outlet in that location or no, right? And for that survey, for that observation, you may need to see, you as an individual researcher is not expert of everything, right? आप खुद को सब कुछ आता है ऐसा नहीं है, कितना भी अच्छा रिसर्चर क्यों ना हो. So you need to hire people. So the salaries can be a major component. Expert consulting charges can be a major component of your research expenses. क्या क्या हो सकता है? Salaries, their consulting charges of expert of that domain, as Satya said, few subscriptions, few secondary database charges in terms of purchasing few books, in terms of availing access of few libraries, some subscriptions of some journals, some books and databases. So these two components are major components. Then you may need to hire people, those who are conducting actual survey. So conducting actual survey by auditing the data, by collecting the data. So data audit may have a major component of your research in terms of expenses. One more thing you may have is about utilization of different kind of softwares, right? The softwares that you are using for data analysis like Tableau, SPSS or some other software doesn't come for free. Most of them doesn't come for free, right? So you need to have that particular expenses in your project proposal. So software, subscriptions, data collection, salaries, experts, consulting charges. Few of very common expenses are in terms of purchasing some hardware for your research study. So possibly it may not be possible for you to conduct research only with the help of hard copies of questionnaire, right? For example, if you talk about collecting data for exit polls after elections, can you collect that data in hard copy format and send it to the central analysis team and get outcome done within a stipulated time? कितने महीने लगेंगे अगर आप हार्ड कॉपी से काम करते हो? There you need a gadgets which sends real time data to a central database, and there you need good quality devices, good quality gadgets to collect data. So smartphone चाहिए, tabs चाहिए. So sometimes researchers may need to purchase various hardwares also. Softwares, hardwares, books, subscriptions, manpower. और क्या हो सकता है? Anything coming to your mind? मुझे पता है. I'm just asking you all. I can tell you 10 more expenses. It's very easy. So if you talk, yes.
Report creation, then taking help of statistical persons like to do statistics.
Yes. So formatting, technicians, statisticians charges, right? Conceptualization भी आना चाहिए research का. So thematic representation, consulting by the statistician, and formatting in terms of various diagrams, Word document formatting. So you need a technician and person who can edit the presentation of your report proper way, right? और क्या हो सकता है? You need to put it all in the research proposal. Yes, anything else? Stationery charges, very common thing, very small thing, but that is also some expenses for you. So sometimes this stationery charges can be a very huge amount. You may not imagine even. For example, you have a 5-page questionnaire and you want to take 5,000 responses from that different geographical locations. How would you do that? So it will become 25,000 pages, which will cost you around at least 1 rupees per page, right? So stationery, printing, you will need files and some other stationery material to put those responses in a proper thing. Then you have to convert those hard copy responses in soft copy. So you will need people for data entry. Research is a very vast, deep, versatile, and very subjective kind of thing. It depends on the type of research, size of research, how much expenses you will have. Few of the researchers that you are conducting in your summer internship kind of research can be completed in the costing of 2 to 5,000 rupees. What do you think that how much is the costing of your summer internship research? Any idea how much you will be spending on that? Though you are doing everything at your own, how much money you are spending? Any idea? कुछ है बताने के लिए? How much money you are spending on your summer internship research report?
So for summer internship, till now, it's like negligible. I mean, electrical charges.
I will tell you that you will at least require 2,000 rupees to bind your reports.
Yeah. So like one report which we did in our graduation, I mean, of almost all of have done. So in that, it was around 3 to 4,000.
So summer internship also will be at close to 5,000, 6,000 rupees per student, provided you do data collection at your own by online medium. If you go for data collection on the field, so though you are not spending practical money, you can only talk about your daily expenses. आपका TA का भी अगर पकड़ लोगे ना, तो that will go around 10-15,000 rupees of 2 months, right? So 20-25 हजार का समर इंटर्नशिप का बजट है आपका. Don't you think that कि समर इंटर्नशिप तो ऐसे ही हो जाएगा ये सब चीजें, right? So any difficulty to understand this point? When you talk about appendices, इसको कभी सुना है किसी ने? What do you mean that? What do you mean of this particular thing?
सर यहाँ पे वो फोटोग्राफ्स वगैरह लगाते थे.
Appendices, it is also called as appendix भी बोलते हैं, right? Appendix and annexures बोला जाता है इसको. This is also called as annexure, right? So what do you mean by this appendices or annexures? Appendices and annexures are something that you need to put in the end of your research study, right? You will present some documents which has been indirectly used or which has been directly used in your research study. कुछ instruments होते हैं जो आप direct use करते हो. For example, some questionnaire is one of the appendices, right? Questionnaire need not to be a part of your research study anywhere, because you will enlist the variables in terms of your research methodology somewhere in your research methodology, and those variables are coded in your questionnaire. So no need to mention your questionnaire in the research study, but you can attach this questionnaire at the end of your research in the appendices. So appendices are the documents, references, evidences that you have created to justify the practical work out you did for your research study. So these appendixes can be questionnaire, can be photographs taken as evidence for data collection. आप कहीं मिलने गए हो, आपने photograph निकाला है, or it can be any kind of report. Guys, just a minute. So this can be any kind of reports that you have referred. For example, you were studying whether restaurant chain should open their stores in that location or no, and you have used the reports of any specific uh, government body describing the demographics of that location. इस एरिया में कौन सी कैटेगरी के लोग रहते हैं, उनका डेमोग्राफिक्स क्या है, एजुकेशन ग्रुप कितना है, इनकम कितना है, ये सब चीजें. Okay, so you may use those reports for your research understanding and research report writing, but those reports which you have referred can be attached in the end of your research study in terms of annexures, that is appendices, right? समझ में आ रहा मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? एक तो क्वेश्चनर हो सकता है, वेरियस रिपोर्ट्स हो सकते हैं, गवर्नमेंट्स के कुछ बॉडीज होती है, जैसे आपको अगर ये देखना है कि पुणे में कौन से एरिया में किस कैटेगरी के लोग, किस क्लास के लोग रहते, कैटेगरी नॉट इन अ सोशल कैटेगरी, इन टर्म्स ऑफ डेमोग्राफिक्स आई एम टॉकिंग. सो कौन से एरिया में कौन से कैटेगरी के लोग हैं, उनका इनकम क्लास क्या है, प्रोफेशन क्या है, ये सब चीज़ों का एक कोई रिपोर्ट तो होगा पुणे पीएमसी के पास, पुणे म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन के पास, राइट? सो यू विल गेट दैट रिपोर्ट. You will get that report and you may use that report for developing your own understanding whether the restaurant should be open in the geographical locations or no. And that such kind of reports can be used as the appendices. So appendices are nothing but the evidences of justification for the work you did in your research study. Simple में समझो, कुछ भी हो सकता है ये, right? I have let me tell you one example of appendices, how it can be different than these 3-4 types. In my PhD research, I was looking for some information from the agricultural department of Pune district, right? So I visited their office thrice for asking some data. I wanted to find out what is the total number of greenhouses. What is the total number of greenhouses built by farmers in Pune district? ये मुझे ढूंढना था. So I was not able to find that out at my own. So I thought I have to visit Pune district agricultural office. I went there. I have asked them that I want to know, is there any system where you record what is the total number of greenhouses that are built by the farmers of Pune district? तो बोले हमारे पास ऐसा कुछ system नहीं है. So but we have one system in which we have record of all the greenhouses which has been funded by the government, right? We have record of all the greenhouses which has been funded by the government. तो मैंने उनको बोला कि I want that information. I want that information for last 5 years. So I have switched myself from okay, so I was talking to you all about the story of Pune district agricultural office, right? So yesterday we were talking about deciding the sample population, then and reaching to the accessible population, right? So मेरे sample population में क्या था? All the farmers of Pune district. Am I audible to you all? Okay, so मेरा population में क्या था? All the farmer of Pune district, those who have agricultural greenhouses with them. So मुझे वो accessible नहीं था. So what has been my accessible population now? As told by the district agriculture officer Pune, that they have data of all the subsidized greenhouse owners of Pune district. So मैंने मेरा accessible population subsidized पे shift कर दिया. So the total population has become all the people of. It has become more identical to me now. And I asked them, I want detail of these people in terms of their address, name, and contact details. So as government office, they had everything with them since last 10 years. But they said we cannot give it to you, right? They said we cannot give it to you because this is because of the government privacy and all. I have written them an application attaching my PhD registration from Pune University, my undertaking saying that I will only use this information for academic purpose and will not disclose this to anyone. ऐसा बोल के बाद भी उन्होंने मुझे नहीं दिया. So what did I do? I have applied for this information through RTI, Right to Information Act, right? There is an act called in India Right to Information. So I have applied through RTI. And मैंने RTI करने के बाद उसके जो मेरे एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म से स्क्रीनशॉट मुझे then I got the information. Then I got all the information from that department. They have sent it to me on my permanent address through courier. They have sent me such a big hard copy of the list of all the people since last 5 years. So the thing that they could have done through email, they had to send it to the government requirements and all those things. And what did I do? I put all those applications and documents in my thesis as a proof of my efforts to collect the data and to justify the genuinity of the data I have collected. Right? So nobody can challenge me then. From where do you get to know about the total population of greenhouse owning farmers in Pune? So I made it more authenticate by attaching my appendices, that is annexure, right? So all those things I have put in the end of my thesis, like the RTI application, the reward that I have received. So 4-5 pages I have attached to the thesis in terms of appendices. Understood? क्या हो सकता है इसमें?
Yes.
Right? So the next point is about report writing. So when you talk about report writing, you know, report writing can be a very personalized thing for the researchers. Sometimes writing report or selecting the format for report writing, putting all those your research efforts and findings on paper can be very much as per the choice of your client, right? As per the very much comfort of researcher and researching agency. क्लाइंट या एजेंसी दोनों में से कोई एक डिसाइड करेगा कि या फिर दोनों मिलकर डिसाइड करेंगे किस फॉर्मेट में रिपोर्ट चाहिए. Sometimes client would prefer to have report in terms of a huge graphical presentation. They might be required with the graphs, numbers, and bullet points mentioning about those graphs. So it depends on the client's requirement. It depends on the researcher's expertise, researcher's attitude, researcher's personal qualifications and personal abilities also. So report writing, but on an average, overall, a research should contain all those things, whatever you have mentioned in your research proposal. जो proposal में रखा है, वो सब आपको research report में लिखना चाहिए, right? ये सब चीजें, including your like starting from your title to the end of your appendices. तो ये सब चीजें आनी चाहिए. Referencing is very much important. Referencing is also very much important, which happens before the appendices. At the end, when you start your research from introduction, then goes to literature, research methodology, data analysis, findings, conclusion, and then you come to the bibliography. Bibliography is nothing but the references, right? So bibliography के बाद आएगा आपका appendices, right? ये सब चीजें report writing में आनी चाहिए. Everything should be included in writing, but it can vary. You may create multiple reports on a single research study also. You may create multiple reports. One report can be a very vast, detailed, deep, and explaining everything with a proper justification. And another format of your report can be a crisp document of summary of your research, which may be into like 20, 30, 40 pages. And mentioning the very important, crisp, and very useful information for the clients in their decision making. So it depends on the requirement of client and it depends on the expertise of the researchers and research agencies. So we have given you the format of writing your research report, right? So this research report we expect in specific format, and this format is being adopted at large, right? यही format होता है. थोड़ा बहुत उसमें changes किया जाता है as per the type of research, as per the scope of your research, कितना बड़ा है कितना छोटा है उसके हिसाब से छोटे मोटे changes होते हैं, but the format remains close to the format provided to you all for your summer internship, which contains the title page, then the acknowledgement, certificates, then introduction, literature, methodology, analysis, and finding conclusion, and then bibliography, and then appendixes, right? Appendices. समझ में आ रहा है? Another
Yes.
thing, we can talk about the ethical issues. So when you talk about the ethical issues of the research report writing, I think we have discussed it many times, right? कम से कम 5-10 बार मैंने डिस्कस कर लिया होगा what are the ethical issues of your research. So can anyone tell me what are the major ethical issues that researcher need to consider? Anyone? Any idea?
The first thing which comes to my mind is not proper referencing in the bibliography.
Yes. First and most important thing is that giving credits to the content that you have used from someone's other work in literature review. अगर आप literature review करते हो, existing information कहीं से लेते हो, किसी ने कुछ already publish किया हुआ information आपकी report में रखते हो, तो you have to give the first preference and you have to give the appropriate credits in terms of mentioning the bibliography of that particular work done. For example, I have done research work on the farmers' behavior towards online marketing of agricultural greenhouse products, and you have mentioned some findings of my research in your report. You have mentioned some methodologies and procedures or some content of my research study in your own report, because what we are saying here is that we are going to take this stock of existing scenario for that particular research topic from the globe by doing literature review. So हम literature review करते हैं तो insight लेते हैं लोगों के in order to form hypothesis, in order to form objectives, in order to select the variables for forming questionnaire. खुद होके तो सब questionnaire के क्वेश्चन हमको आते नहीं है ना, तो हम कहीं से लेते हैं लोगों ने आज तक क्या स्टडी किया उसके हिसाब से. So giving appropriate credit to the real owner of that content in terms of mentioning proper bibliography is the first and foremost ethical consideration you have to keep in the mind, and that is called as the plagiarism. That is called as the plagiarism, right? So plagiarism जो होता है, that is nothing but the copy pasting of somebody else's work in your report, somebody else's work in your own report. So it's a breach of intellectual rights. It's a breach of copyright act, right? So that ethical consideration you have to keep in the mind. Anything else?
So invasion of privacy.
Invasion of privacy of your respondent. So it's a technical term, right? Invasion of privacy. You are not, see, as I was asking for the details of farmers, those who own agricultural greenhouses in Pune district, government office could have easily provided me that information. But if I could have sold that information to the manufacturers of greenhouse materials, or to someone like using that information in commercial, and these people might have harassed or tortured these farmers by asking, calling them, or sending them mails, and by writing them letters, and by any means, right, by approaching physically or sending their own sales executives to their location. So it's an invasion of someone's privacy, right? You cannot open those private details you have collected in your research study for the market. For example, you have conducted a research study and taken a survey of 5,000 people to understand whether the restaurant chain should open this outlet in the locality or no. And what happened? You have sold that 5,000 data to the other restaurants. क्योंकि उसको पता था. You have got to know the habits of those customers. कि ये क्या खाते हैं, कौन से टाइप के restaurants में जाते हैं. And based on that, you have put a filter in Excel sheet and sold that data for earning some commission from those hotels. ये सब चीजें नहीं होनी चाहिए, right? That's the invasion of privacy. Okay, any other thing? अभी दरवाजा बजेगा जोर से. There are so many other issues in our institute. चलते रहता है. कुछ और है क्या? Any other thing coming to your mind?
सर कभी ऐसा भी होता है क्या, जैसे मतलब सर्वे करने के लिए गए हैं लेकिन प्रमोशन कर दिया, सेल्स प्रमोशन या फिर
होता है ना, आप करने कुछ गए हो, करके कुछ आ रहे हो, कभी कुछ भी हो सकता है. लाइक people, this AquaGuard, if you know the company called AquaGuard, they had they had only one policy of selling in beginning. They had only one policy and promotion strategy of going to individuals doorstep and demonstrating their product in front of the consumers directly. So the AquaGuard was using only a direct marketing strategy to connect their customers in beginning. So क्या हुआ? Their salesmen, their executives have misbehaved in the lonely females from the various social classes. Like कोई घर में नहीं है तो misbehave करो, या फिर few of the cases of robbery also has been reported, right? So you cannot control the you cannot control the entire research team. You may expect few such kind of events happening. So ये तो बहुत बड़े लेवल पे हो रहा था एक्वागार्ड के इसमें इंडिया में, तो ये सब केसेस होते रहती है, राइट? So this can be also part of your ethical behavior in the research. Whenever you are dealing with respondents or any other social person, your subjectivity should not be disclosed, right? You should not get into personal relations with anyone involved in your research study. So that's for human relations. बहुत सारे issues हो सकते हैं. By understanding this statement, you can understand a lot of ethical points you need to understand. You need to keep in mind, right? So, selling or stealing someone's private information, sending it to someone, misinterpreting the facts can be one of the important ethical consideration. For example, you are working for Domino's, let's suppose, वही अपना फास्ट फूड रिटेलर्स, राइट? उनको फाइंड आउट करना है whether they should open the outlets in various geographies of Pune city, and you have did the proper survey. You got to know that they should open the outlets in 3-4 locations. But what you did, you as a research agency or you as a researcher has given them a false information, right? You have told them that you can open the restaurants at 10 locations because you wanted to prove your efficiency. You wanted to prove your utility for the client, how much you as a researcher are useful for the client, that you wanted to prove. Sometimes it may happen. So companies can provide them the false information. Sometimes they will practically observe that 10 लोकेशन तो सही थे, 10 लोकेशन पे ओपन कर सकते थे, बट वो 5 ही बताएगा, बचे हुए 5 कॉम्पिटिटर्स को बताएगा. In terms of having some monetary dealing, right? So ये सब चीजें ethical considerations में आ सकती है, and that you need to take care of those things. Okay. This next point is about any issue about this? Any addition you want to make? और क्या हो सकता है? So the next point is about क्या है? Sponsor issues. Now, this sponsorship issues for your research cannot be that much applicable when you do applied research, right? Sponsorship आपको कब लगता है पता है ना? You know what do you mean by sponsorship? सुना तो बहुत बार होगा आपने, सुना तो बहुत है आपने मेरे बारे में, है, बट पता कुछ नहीं है. स्पॉन्सरशिप का मतलब क्या है?
So it's like someone else is taking care of the finances instead of you paying for it.
How, when it happens? When it happens?
ताकि ताकि उससे जो स्पॉन्सर कर रहा है उसका भी फायदा हो
So
और आपका भी.
when somebody is predicting indirect benefits, somebody is expecting indirect benefits from the work that you are doing, that time you can expect people to uh, sponsor your work, right? So when you are in a research study, who will sponsor your research? When you are working as a researcher, who will sponsor? See, applied research में क्या है? When you talk about the applied research in the sense the research which has been conducted for solving specific problems of any particular company. कुछ कंपनी में कुछ प्रॉब्लम आता है, उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए जो रिसर्च किया जाता है उसको अप्लाइड रिसर्च बोलता है. सो अप्लाइड रिसर्च इज इट अ स्पॉन्सर्ड रिसर्च और इट्स अ फंडेड? So it's actually a funded research, right? So applied research में क्या होता है? डायरेक्ट डील होती है, स्पॉन्सरशिप का उतना इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं है. अप्लाइड रिसर्च आर लाइक funded research. Sponsored research are in the sense when you are doing your own studies in terms of academic research, which is called as mode 1 research. Academicians does their research in order to develop theories, in order to develop knowledge in that particular domain. मैंने मेरा रिसर्च कहाँ किया था? I did my research in order to study the farmers' behavior towards online marketing of agricultural greenhouse products. Right? I did that research in order to understand farmers' behavior towards online marketing of agricultural products. If I could have approached, see, did I do that research for any company? No. Did I do that research for addressing any problem of corporate world? No. So that was not a mode 2 research. That was not the applied research. वो applied research नहीं था. वो था academic research which has been called as the intellectual research by the academicians. तो मैंने क्या किया? मैंने मेरा स्टडी किया, मुझे बस उस फील्ड में क्या हो रहा है वो हाईलाइट करना था दुनिया के सामने. दैट वाज माय ऑब्जेक्टिव. मुझे किसी कंपनी का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं करना था. बट by highlighting consumer behaviors towards online marketing of agricultural greenhouse products, who could have got the benefits? All the companies, those who are into online marketing of agricultural products, उनको benefit हो गया होता. All the companies, those who are dealing in supply chain of marketing of agricultural greenhouse products, उनको benefit हो गया है. So I could have got a sponsorship from those companies also. I could have got a sponsorship of those business owners also for taking care of finances required as per the budget of my research study, right? So getting sponsors is always a challenge for researchers, and sponsorships can be from like some of the companies, those who are dealing in the online marketing, dealing in the agriculture, dealing in the greenhouse business, dealing in the supply chain of greenhouse, some of the fertilizers and seeds companies, some of the intermediaries, those could have been the sources of sponsorship for my research, right? ये हो गया होता. And this could have been funded by those companies. So sponsorship issues, and it's not that easy to go and tell them and ask them for the sponsorship. Sponsorship is not required at the end of or by the completion of your study. You need to take the sponsorship before you start the study. खत्म होने के बाद sponsorship के लिए भाग के क्या मतलब? Then it will not be called as sponsorship. It will be called as selling out your own research work, right? करने के बाद अगर आप उसको sponsorship करते हो तो it is a sales, not a sponsorship. So communicating the benefits of your study for the sponsors, sponsoring clients is very difficult. You need to assure them the utility, usefulness, suitability. You need to assure them the intellectual capacities of your research work. Then only the corporate world could finance. Then only the corporate people could give you some sponsorship for your project. तो आप भी देखो ना, आपके समर इंटर्नशिप में आपको हायर किया गया है, राइट? If you create a really very genuine and authenticate report and give it to your company and present at the last end of your summer internship, they will definitely sponsor this research. I have seen many examples. I have seen many examples for which students have been paid 20,000, 50,000 rupees for their projects. But the project submitted to the company should be something I can call extraordinary and something insightful, which the company was not aware till the date. That should have such kind of outcomes in your project. Okay. Corporate espionage and code of ethics. So when we talk about code of ethics, we have discussed about those things, and talking about this particular this particular word of corporate espionage. Anyone who knows the meaning of this word? What do you mean by espionage? किसी को पता है? Corporate espionage. No idea. The dictionary meaning of this word espionage is झांकना, किसी दूसरे के घर में जाके देखना क्या चल रहा है. होता है एक मराठी में एक कहावत है, मैं हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करके बताता हूँ आपको. वो होता है, खुद का रखो ढक के और दूसरे का देखो झांक के. ये जो एटीट्यूड होता है ना, वो कॉर्पोरेट में भी होता है, राइट? This attitude is there also, and this market research or market intelligence, these two functions of your marketing information system are very much closely associated to this word called corporate espionage. This corporate espionage is nothing but अपने बिजनेस में क्या चल रहा है वो चलने दो, वो अपन अपनी लेवल पे सॉल्व करेंगे. हम अपने लिए रिसर्च नहीं करेंगे, हम अपने प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने की रिसर्च नहीं करेंगे. हम दूसरों की कंपनी में क्या चल रहा है, उनकी स्ट्रेटेजीज क्या है, वो कैसे प्रॉफिट कमा रहे हैं, व्हाट आर द मटेरियल्स दे आर यूजिंग, हाउ मच काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग, व्हाट इज देयर मार्केट शेयर, उनका स्ट्रेटेजी क्या है, हाउ मच दे आर स्पेंडिंग ऑन द advertisements and all those things. That we will be finding out through research studies. And that is called as corporate espionage. And this particular function can be considered, this particular function can be conducted with the help of this research or intelligence, research or analytics, marketing research or marketing intelligence. So not necessarily that research is being used for your own problems, and not necessarily that research is being used for getting solutions for your company issues only. So this is a very common practice to study about others, right? When you talk about the competitor analysis, when you talk about the comparison of top leaders of the industry, वो क्या है? That is the kind of corporate espionage itself, right? So the examples, if you ask me about this corporate espionage, is latest happened by this Pepsi Cola, Ronaldo and that particular Fevicol, right? So दूसरे के लफड़े में क्या चल रहा है? Fevicol was very much prepared to get the benefits from the matters happened outside their business. उन दोनों के प्रॉब्लम में उन्होंने अपना हाथ धो लिया. सो वैदिक गंगा में अच्छे से हाथ धोया उन्होंने. सो research studies can be conducted in order to look into others competitors matters, in order to look into competitors strategies, right? So this is one of the function. This can be also one of the function of your research efforts. So समझ में आया? Anything that we have not discussed among chapter 1 and 2, you can just check out. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just
Yes, sir.
Yes, Prakash.
You are audible, sir. I'm saying only.
Okay. In point we have missed of these two chapters. Next session we will talk about the factor analysis and conjoint analysis. So I will start from these small things and basic things of factor analysis. All those who are really interested to learn what are those points and what are the applications of factor analysis, I request you all to download the trial version of SPSS. क्या करोगे?
So can you repeat?
You all are instructed to download the trial version of SPSS software. It's a IBM company's software. You will get a trial version on internet, which is free for 15 days. Right? SPSS.
SPSS.
That's the statistical software used for analysis of various things. So I am going to show you this factor analysis, this cluster analysis, this multidimensional scaling, ANOVA correlation regression. These points I am going to discuss with you all with the help of SPSS software. So आप लोग क्या करोगे? This forecasting also we can do with the help of SPSS, but that I will get it done through the Excel, right? Sales analysis and sales forecasting, that we will do through Excel. So SPSS trial version is very much important for all of you in the next session. कर लोगे? मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मैं तो एक दिन में रन करके दिखाऊंगा, फटाफट खत्म हो जाएगा. But I want you to learn and you can use this in your
Yes, sir.
all survey based studies in summer internship. जितने ही सर्वे करोगे ना, उन सब सर्वे बेस्ड स्टडीज में आपको ये काम में आएगा. Okay, so thank you so much. I will stop here
Thank you, sir.
and
Sure.
just hold on a minute. Let me